Hi, everybody, and welcome to Crypto Disruption. We decided today we are going to do a live stream to kick off Blockchain Week. So my name is Tommy.
And I'm Tracy.
And so, I thought we could just kind of kick this off and, just kind of chat about the market, where it's at today. We could look at consensus that's going on this week. Of course, it's, like I said, Blockchain Week. And then we had a couple other things just to kind of BS about and, see what's going on. Right?
Right.
Cool. All righty. Market. What does the market look like today? So today we are green. We're back over 400 billion. We're at 409 billion right now. Most of the top 100s are green, pretty much all the way down. Mm-hmm. Looks like we've got 3 or 4 that are in the red, but everything else is in the green. So, that's kind of that's good after the last couple days. I know it was kind of brutal. I think personally, there was a little bit of market manipulation there.
I don't doubt it.
I mean, some of the whales knew, consensus is coming up and, it's kind of like the last hurrah,
There she blows and there and there.
Yeah, and there and there and there. And, so, drive the market down, shake out some of the weak hands before, the run up or after the little run up to consensus. But after, during Blockchain Week, I mean, historically, the price has always gone up. Now that we're technically in Blockchain Week, we're green. I think next or this week, I should say, seeing as it's Sunday, come Monday, when we're starting to do some presentations or you're starting to see some presentations that you're going to see some of these cryptos that are being talked about that have boosts there. I think you're going to see some definite increases. So, my personal thought is, there was the Mount Gox, FUD.
Kerfuffle.
Yeah, the FUD out there about that. But I think the majority of the red over the last couple of days was just some market manipulation by some of the whales to, kind of take some profits off of the run, shake out some of the weak hands, buy in lower.
And the light's starting to come on. So, of course, people want to be able to buy in. They're a little sour. Maybe things were going up again. They want to push it back down so they have more opportunity to buy in. So.
Yep. And I think, I was watching some other YouTubers that kind of had the same sort of feeling. And I think the consensus, no pun intended there, but that is, we're going to see this sort of market manipulation. But the more money that comes into crypto, the harder and harder it is for them to do it. So when we start hitting the 3 trillion and 5 trillion market cap, that's going to be a lot harder for them to manipulate that. And we've seen huge growth over the last year. I think we're going to continue to see huge growth over the next few years.
Well, yeah, you'll have your downtrends, but that's market. Every market.
That's just kind of the market. People don't realize how big crypto is because when you talk to people, especially in America, I think the number of people that are involved in crypto is quite low compared to other areas of the world. But still, when you look around, like I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn and, when you look around LinkedIn and you start searching crypto tokens, ICOs, thousands of people.
You're going to get a sore thumb. You're going to get a sore thumb.
You really are. And so there's a lot of people that are into crypto and it's just continuing to grow. Let's see. We got a smart dump before the consensus to maximize profit for this run. Yeah. Exactly. That's definitely, it was pretty clear what was going on. I do kind of feel bad when I know people that are new to the market and they see that and they panic and they sell because somebody's manipulating the market. But, it's investing. It doesn't.
Investing is not for the weak of heart. It's not.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to invest anything that you can't afford to lose, and that's a topic we're going to talk about here in a little while is some top rules for ICO investing.
Great article I saw. I put it on my Twitter for anybody that knows the Contra FUD.
Yeah, Contra FUD. So at ContraFUD is Tracy on Twitter. I'm, of course, Crypto Disruption, and we're doing the channel together. Moving forward, I mean, you'll still see some videos probably with me if I'm doing a review or something. I might do the interview, or Tracy might do the interview, but we're going to try and do a lot more videos together. Just because, you know, it's something for the longest time, I was kind of, you know, running the channel, but Tracy's been involved in crypto kind of since I jumped in. She jumped in right with me, and she was kind of on the back end. And, you know, we always had these conversations. We had really good conversations, and we kept saying, why don't we just have these conversations on why
we're doing it anyway.
Why don't we just do this on video?
And maybe it's because I'm not so much like the spotlight person. Is kind of like freaky for those of you. I'm sorry, but you know, I thought I could work through it, and here I am, and you know.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to continue to do that and have some really good conversations. So the market's looking good. I think the market this week is going to look really good throughout the week. There were a couple coins that I saw on a list that jumped out. I got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday coins, and then we'll kind of see from there. So some coins that might get some good exposure on Monday will be ARK. There's Agrello, which if you guys know, I've talked about that project a couple times. I do like that one. Symbol DLT. Stellar on Monday should get some exposure. There's Litecoin on there, of course. And Zcash. There's a bunch of others. I'm just kind of naming off some that, you know, jump out at me. Tuesday, keep an eye out for Polymath, VChain, Medical Chain, Zcoin. I said Zcash for Monday, right? I want to make sure. Zcash on Monday, Zcoin on Tuesday, you know, and then, you know, Ethereum on Wednesday. And then, you know, we'll kind of see what the consensus jumps out. Awesome. The lady in my life rolls her eyes and walks away when I talk crypto. Well,
we all have our things in
Yeah,
relationships. I talk about fish and stuff, and he's gone.
Yeah, she starts talking about fish. You see the fish tank behind us, and I'm just kind of like, fish, you know. I don't know if you guys ever watched Scrubs. They did an episode there with shoe shopping. Yeah, shoe shopping, and all the guys kind of roll their head, and Dr. Cox is like, oh, please, I've been married for so long. So
yeah, you should be immune by now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but I am kind of lucky. You know, my wife does like crypto, and you know, I know I did annoy her a little bit at first because like it was almost like obsessed to the point that I was like always talking to people about crypto.
He's an immersion person when it comes to learning things.
Yeah, I just kind of, and you know, people will start to talk, and even now, you know, somebody will say something, I'm like, oh, crypto, and then that's where the conversation
he hears that
is.
word and he'll find you.
Yeah.
He'll hear it across a house and he's gone.
You know, but the cool thing is we talk to it about our kids too, and so
we do, and we'll have to bring them in sometime if you guys have teenagers or even, you know, somewhere in the entering teen phase. It's interesting because they know about it. They've heard blockchain, they've heard crypto, they've heard Bitcoin. Who hasn't heard Bitcoin now?
Yeah.
But they do have neat opinions on it. So sometime we'll have to do a little talk with our kids and, you know, give you guys some insight on helping them learn how to invest, because it's a great time now if you have younger kids to help them start a little fund, and who knows what that'll be by the time they are our age. So
yeah, no shit. I mean, if crypto was around, or I kick myself because, you know, at 18, like my daughter turned 18 and she's like, what should I invest in, Dad? What crypto should I get? And so, you know, we started kind of talking, and I thought to myself, and I was like, man, if I would have started investing at 18, I'd be really, really, really happy right now. And all I was doing at 18 was drinking beer and partying. And so, yeah, you know, we're definitely kind of a whole crypto family here. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, consensus runs this week. You know, we're technically already into it, but it kicked off blockchain week. I think officially kicked off, or they started having like, you know, some events or whatnot on the 10th, and I think it ends on the 19th. So it's in New York. Wasn't able to make it this year.
No, and you know, some bigger names are definitely avoiding it for personal reasons, and
yep,
you know, I appreciate that. I respect that.
Yep,
so
that's her choice, and there was, you know, got to respect their choice. So ICO rules. Do you want to talk about those a little bit?
Well, earlier, and I mentioned I was talking about my my Twitter feed, and I had put out this really great article that I found on TNW by Joshua DeWitt. Joshua, if you're listening, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong at all. But it talks about thinking on investing in ICO, and they had these really good top 10 things to look at, and they go by steps. And so understanding fundamentals and reading, asking questions, joining Telegram. Definitely do join the Telegram. You will talk to people. You will get insight that you will not get in other places. It's live, it's interactive, and it's definitely worth putting that. If you're putting your money there, don't you want to know where it's going? Don't you want to know who it's going with? Absolutely.
Yeah, I always, any project I'm looking at and researching, I always join the Telegram. I mean, that's and depending on the room, sometimes you got to work through some FUD and stuff like that, but the admins are normally a good place to go. Always read the pinned message. So if you're new to Telegram, when you join, most rooms will have a pinned message up at top. Read the pinned message because it's going to tell you their rules, and a lot of times it'll tell you who the admins are too. There's a lot of fakes out there too that are trying to scam people.
So some of the bigger takeaways that I had from this, and one of my favorite, because this is something we try to stress a lot, is that you never want to risk more than you can afford to lose.
Yeah.
Right there. If you cannot afford it, do not go, well, I can make this up here, 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 or if this works, dude, if it works, great. That's awesome. But if it doesn't, isn't that going to suck? Yeah. So don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we joke a lot on the channel about, don't take a second mortgage out on your house, don't.
And it is mostly we're just joking, but at the same time, people are doing it.
Yeah. People definitely do it. Don't spend your kids' college fund. Don't spend, your food money. And I've said it before in videos in the past, but my joke about don't put a second mortgage out on your house actually comes from a real life event that I saw somebody do in the .com days. And they literally took a second mortgage out on their house to invest in the .com stocks. And we all know what kind of happened there, at that time. That was going through sort of a tornado stage like crypto is going through right now, where there was a lot of worthless projects that got a lot of money. Now, the thing is, people like to compare all of that sort of stuff. The companies that survived the .com bust did very well. And I think the same thing's going to happen in crypto. And I say it all the time, these projects that are actually have a project behind them. They're not just a white paper and an idea, but the ones that have a working product, or if they come out of the ICO and they're able to develop that and they're able to market it, then, they're going to survive. The ones that are just, like I say, shit coins, and we use that term a lot in the industry, they're going to go away. So, do that. What was it? So I shouldn't have my family in this tent in the woods. So Bitcoin takes off.
That's cute.
Well,
I mean, do you like living in the woods?
You might like living in the woods.
Camping's fun.
Yeah, camping's fun.
Let us know how it goes in the winter. We'll be thinking of you.
Definitely.
No, definitely. I wish that everyone would think things through. White papers, they're not always fun. They're not always easy to digest, but they are worth reading. And if you're going to put your money into it, it's just like any kind of education or furthering things for work or adding something to your life. If you're going to do it and it's going to be important to you, take the time to really understand it. Yeah. And there's no shame in not. I mean, when I started really looking into things, I had no idea what was going on. Blockchain, how does that work? Crypto, I mean, what does that mean? And it took a little while and a lot of reading. I already like technology. I enjoy technology development at work in the websites and technological industry. So there's things I already got, but other people, maybe they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So take your time, do your research. I do see a lot of people get angry sometimes at, YouTubers, but I try and say in all my channels, don't buy something just because somebody on YouTube says they like the project. I'm going to like projects that some people don't like. And I'm also, my level of risk might be
different,
a little bit higher. I might have a more comfortable be more comfortable taking higher risks than some other people do.
Well, and let's be honest. I mean, the crypto industry has brought in people from college and even younger.
Oh yeah,
there's plenty of people that did really well for themselves, and they were very young. And the people that didn't go quite as well. And you just have to really be careful with what you're putting out there. But we always try to be honest and lead you in a good direction. But we can do things that obviously a college student probably can't do, because you're investing in an education and in a career for your future, and you don't have as much disposable income. So not to say that we have we have 4 kids. Okay. So just remove a little bit of income there.
Disposable income, 4 kids.
So no, but we can make different investment choices.
Yeah. So we had a good discussion in the car earlier, and we were talking about the evolution of currency and how, some people, you'll hear some of the detractors of cryptocurrency and blockchain, saying it's worthless. It doesn't have any value. But when you think about it and you look through history, like the dollar now, you take $1 out of your wallet and it says 1 on it, and the only reason that it's accepted as $1 or $5 or $20 is because it's got that number on it, and we accept it that way. And crypto actually has more value to it than paper money. And so our discussion went back even further when you look at how crypto can change the world. Bitcoin can be spent globally.
Right.
And we were talking about, back in the early days of America and in sort of the colonial days, how each state had their own currency. If you were in North Carolina, there was a note for North Carolina, or if you were in Texas, there was a note for Texas. And so all these states had essentially their own currency. And at some time, they said, this isn't really working because it's all scattered. And so it became one currency in the US. Globally, I feel like crypto could start to take that step and really become, now, depending on the project. I mean, some of these projects, they're not essentially currency, they're utility tokens. So, but they can still be spent globally. If it's a utility token, it doesn't matter if you're in Russia or America or China or anywhere in the world. The value of that is still the same to that project. And so it's just another step in the evolution of currency and the way that we approach spending and buying things.
And when you look at, if you're interested in anthropology, which is something I actually do find a great interest in, because to know where you're going, it's important to know where you come from. And when it comes to finances, there is this entire aspect that the way the money works now is the longest that it's probably worked this way for a straight period of time. If you look at things overall, you've had beads, shells, animals, and other less favorable pieces of society used as currency, and it evolves. And that's the nature of money, the nature of humanity. Looking at the tech world, who would have thought that was coming 50 years ago? So when you look at digital currency in a digital world, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely does. So it was a really good conversation that we had. But so we decided this evening we try out a live stream. This is our first actual live stream. I think we're going to continue to do the live streams. We're going to continue to do recordings as well. But we're going to try and throw in some live streams on a regular basis, because I think it's important and it's a good way to reach out and continue to connect with everybody, and to kind of shine through our personality a little bit. I'm kind of wacky and crazy, and so I'll probably start doing a little bit of some antics or whatnot to put some entertainment into the channel.
I'm sorry.
She'll apologize in advance. To kind of make it a little bit different than every other crypto channel, which is point, click, click, click. So some of my reviews are a little different.
And we're definitely here to talk to you guys about cryptocurrency, blockchain, different technologies, implications. We definitely want to do that, but we also want to talk to you guys and interact with you in a way that we can really respond. So,
oh yeah, definitely. Awesome stuff. Keep up the good work, you guys. Thanks for your insight, hard work, helping others navigate through this world of crypto See you next time. Hey, thanks a lot. You know, and you know, the other thing that I do try and do a lot is I do try and interact, and I do try and comment on my you know, the comments I get on the videos. So I will tend to go through and like those and comment on a regular basis as well. So, you know, please continue to interact with us. That's what we want to do.
And I plan to try and interact more with people also. So
yeah, definitely. So like I said, I think we're probably going to wind it down now. You know, I'm excited to see what this week brings. I really am. I would not be surprised, just to, you know, a little bit of forethought here. I would not be surprised to see a small sell-off after consensus week. That's historically what's happened is, you know, we've had a run up and then there's a small sell-off. And then after that, we have another run.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's kind of what I'm expecting to see. So I think we can leave it at that.
And to all those out there that are celebrating Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Definitely. And if you haven't, if you're a husband or a father and you haven't wished the mom happy Mother's Day, do it now.
And again, and another important serious note, and if you're a dad that's filling in that role, and a happy Mother's Day to you too.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, everybody, that's what we got for you tonight. And as always,
trade responsibly.